Good evening, Rambler fans, and welcome to our last episode of this season of the Rambler Sports Locker. Filling in for Adriana Ramos, I'm Santa's favorite reindeer, Cupid.
Whoa, favorite reindeer? I'm Comet, Santa's actual favorite, filling in for Emma Wheeler.
Well, Santa told me yesterday you're the one getting coal.
We'll see about that. For now, we're here to bring you some Rambler sports. Last night, the men's basketball team took on Tulane for just the third time since 1946. Looking to avenge their loss to Tulane last season, the Ramblers came up just a little short with an 83-70 loss. Turnovers were the culprit as the game began with Loyola turning over 4 of its first 5 possessions, giving up the first 6 points of the game. The Ramblers hung on early in the first half when Dante Ingram scored 5 straight points, bringing them within 5. The first half ended with the Green Waves leading 34-24. Although both teams shot at least 50%, Tulane dominated the boards and points off turnovers. With Milton Doyle in foul trouble starting the second half, the Green Waves were able to take a commanding lead, 42-25. Even with the 12-5 Loyola run ending with a 3 by Christian Thomas, the Ramblers just couldn't break Tulane's 10-point lead. Loyola finished the game shooting 48%, with Milton Doyle, Dante Ingram, and Christian Thomas all scoring in double digits. In this week's timeout, Jake Mazanke sat down with men's basketball player Ben Richardson to discuss their 4-2 start.
All right, I'm here with Ben Richardson, freshman guard on the men's basketball team. Ben, you've had a great start to your season so far. What do you attribute to your successes?
Definitely, I think to start off the season, we were just getting used to each other. A lot of new guys on the team, obviously, and then as we started to kind of gel together, I think we started to have more success. And now just buying into the scouting reports and the practices leading up to each game, I think is what's really been its most successful.
After your first 5 games here, do you feel better adjusted to the college game and play and speed of the game so far?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's still very early in the season, but just playing, coming in, and just trying to offer whatever I can, whatever my number's called. Just I definitely adapt a little bit. It's obviously way different than high school, and I think I've started to get a little bit of a better feel after these first couple games.
And what are your expectations personally for the rest of the year?
Personally, it's a long season. We got still have a games, tournament, conference. Just sad for that. Just doing everything I mean, it's called. When I play the best.
And as a team, what are you guys looking to do this season?
I think we're all definitely shot people. We're shot. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people are expecting offense, but I think we're all shooting to go away on expectations.
And the holidays are coming up here, so do you have any plans for Christmas?
Nothing real particular. Just I guess Christmas, host family stuff. We're actually going to be in Vegas right before Christmas, so that should be fun. My family's going to be out there, so we'll see them out there and spend Christmas at home. And back here and get ready for conference.
Great, thanks so much, Ben. Back to you guys at the desk.
Richardson and the rest of the team will make a short trip on Saturday to face Chicago rival UIC.
Last night, the women's basketball team traveled to Columbia, Missouri to take on the Missouri Tigers in their first game away from Gentile Arena. 13 seconds into the game, and Destiny Washington was the first to score for the Ramblers. Although off to a good start, Loyola's offense struggled to keep a good rhythm. As the first half came to a finish, free throws by Juanita Robinson and a successful 3-point by Tiana Karopoulos helped tie the game 20-20. However, after a timeout from the Tigers scored 5 more points before the halftime buzzer. As the second half began, things remained a tight competition. Molly Crosby's first basket of the game helped close the margin 30-26. As pressure grew, however, Loyola could not close the 11-point margin and unfortunately lost the game 56-45. The women will be playing their second away game against Northwestern basketball team this Sunday.
Loyola's fall sports teams have finished up their seasons, wrapping up their second year in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bridget Murphy and Allison Krakowiak have more.
We're outside Gentile Arena right now where the women's volleyball team plays all of their home matches. So let's start talking about the women's volleyball team. So this year the Ramblers were 9-19 overall and 5-13 in their conference. Several of the Ramblers ranked in the top of the MVC for their personal statistics. So Morgan Reardon placed at the top 3 of the MVC for kills, and Caroline Holt placed in the top of the MVC for assists as well. Next season will be exciting because they're only graduating 3 seniors and they're welcoming 5 new freshmen into the program.
Switching from the court to the course, both the men's and the women's cross-country teams did very well this season. In the NBC Conference Tournament meet, the women placed 6th overall and the men placed 7th. The men were led by Sam Penzensadler, who placed 2nd in overall in the meet. The women, however, were without their leading runner, Sydney Stunkel. Sam Penzensadler also qualified for the NCAA National Meet, which is the first time a Rambler has qualified for this meet since 2002. At this meet, he placed 104 out of 246.
Switching from the course to the field, let's talk about the women's soccer team. So the women's soccer team was 5-13-1 overall and 2-3-1 in their conference. They were ranked 6th out of 7 teams in the NBC. So along with that, 5 of the players were on all MVC teams this season, and also the team as a whole was awarded with the NSCAA Academic Award. This season, they are graduating 9 seniors, so we're looking forward to a lot of changes coming up the next season.
On the men's side of things, the men's soccer team was 8-6-5 this season, and it's the first time since 2008 that they've had a winning record. Highlights of the season include being undefeated on their home field and defeating number 20 ranked Northwestern. The season ended in the semifinals of the MVC tournament when the team lost to Missouri State. Brian Beeman and Brian Lunar were both awarded with MVC All-Tournament Team honors. Goalie Tim Dobrovolsky also received All-MVC honors onto the first team, and he was also awarded with Goalkeeper of the Year. The men's soccer team is a young team, so we're looking forward to next year.
And looking forward to next semester as well, when the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team, the men's volleyball team, and the indoor and outdoor track and field teams will be competing.
So stay tuned next semester for more Rambler Sports. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Bridget Murphy.
And I'm Allison Krakowiak.
Let's hope Loyola's winter sports team have a more successful season than the fall sports team did.
For Loyola's track and field, the indoor season is scheduled to begin tomorrow at the Laker Early Bird at Grand Valley State University. With a competitive season ahead, head coach Randy Hasenbank says he feels confident that the team will be prepared to have the same success as past years.
Although the holidays are a time to be joyous, for some athletes, the month of December holds some unpleasant moments and memories that not even Santa's jolly laugh can fix.
Hopefully Santa slides down your chimney this year and you'll find everything you want for Christmas under your tree, assuming that you've all been good girls and boys. Unfortunately for basketball player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the December of 1987 may be one of the most unjolly months of his life. Kareem held one of the most impressive records and was infamous for his consistency. Over 10 years and in 787 consecutive regular season games, he scored in the double digits. However, the Los Angeles Lakers player's streak was broken in the December 4th game against his former team, the Milwaukee Bucks. Only scoring 7 points in the game, the Lakers lost to the Bucks 85-83. Talk about an upsetting start to Kareem's holiday season. Kareem held the double-digit record for a decade until it was broken by none other than Chicago's own Michael Jordan. Go Bulls. So remember, Ramblers, to put out the milk and cookies for Santa and the carrots for the reindeer and have a joyous holiday season. For This Week in History, I'm Maria Shetkowski.
It's a shame that the Milwaukee Bucks weren't the Milwaukee Reindeer. Otherwise, Santa could have helped out our buddy Kareem.
The women's golf team is eager to have Michigan's Miss Golf to join the team roster for the 2015 season. Elena Bowser was honored with the title last week and signed her national letter of intent with Loyola on November 19th. With an outstanding high school career, Bowser finished her senior season winning 9 of the 12 events she competed in. Her performance at the Division I state finals earned her 3rd place individual finish.
The Loyola soccer team's hard work on the field wasn't the only thing that paid off. Both the men and women's soccer teams were awarded the College Team Academic Award. To qualify for this award, teams must have a GPA average of a 3.0 or higher. While there are 861 soccer teams recognized across the nation, Loyola is one of only 181 to have both teams awarded.
So, Adriana, what's at the top of your Christmas list this year?
Warm weather.
Same. I'm still making some finishing touches though to my list, but the Ramblers have all made up their minds. Check out this Christmas extra to find out what Loyola students are asking for Santa this year.
I'm ready. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I care about the rest underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Baby, all I want for Christmas is you.
The Sports Locker would like to thank all the students and organizations who helped with our Christmas tribute to Lou Wolf. I don't know about you, Emma, but I'm going to have that song stuck in my head all day.
Definitely. They say that you can't win them all. That seems to be the Philadelphia 76ers motto as they look to lose almost all of their games this year. Let's see what they have to say on the Ramble about Philly's futility.
Hey y'all, and welcome to this week's Weekly Ramble. I'm your host, Milap Mehta, and I'm joined by our two-time defending champion, Joaquin Carrig.
Thank you.
And the challenger, a familiar face, Nader Issa. And so we are here to talk about some basketball. Now I understand it is, the season of giving and the 76ers finally won. So I should probably not make fun of them anymore, but I'm going to anyways. The question is, who's going to win a best-of-7 series between the Kentucky Wildcats, and not their football team, and the Philadelphia 76ers? Well, let's find out. Joaquin, start us off.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show today. Thank you for having me, Milap.
You're welcome.
I could start this conversation by talking about the 0-17 start for the 76ers and just the terrible way they've been playing. I could talk about even in the victory against the Timberwolves, they only scored 9 points in one of the quarters. Right. So, and I could also talk about Kentucky and the fact that they beat Kansas, who was 5th ranked at the time, and beat them by 30 points. But I'm not going to do that because this is an absolutely ridiculous question. There is no possible way Kentucky would ever beat 76ers in one game, let alone a 7-game series. So I'm going to excuse myself from this debate, and I hope you all both have a Merry Christmas.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, it looks like Joaquin is going to have me debate myself. So, Nader, this is going to be a good one. All right. Those are some fabulous points Joaquin made. What do you got for us?
I understand what Joaquin was saying. I agree with most of his points for why Kentucky would be a good challenger to the Sixers. Obviously, he thinks the Sixers are really good. I just think that John Calipari, the head coach of Kentucky, himself, he's the biggest promoter of his own players, and even he said that Kentucky would have no chance against any NBA team. The quote was, if we played any NBA team, we would get buried, any.
Okay, so I think Calipari is probably referring to NBA teams and not a D-League team like the Sixers, correct?
He was referring to any team when asked specifically about the Sixers, too.
All right, well, Joaquin, so we're going to get right back to you. So now you did talk about a lot of great things that the Wildcats have done. So how do you exactly see them translating that against the 76ers when we all know that, well, Philadelphia has more NBA talent? Well, Milop, the way that we would counter that is that we would see a lot of Kentucky Wildcats guys actually make it to the NBA. They currently have 7 players who are projected to be drafted, potentially 8, 6 of them first rounders. So in terms of actual number of NBA guys, I'd say the 76ers and Wildcats are pretty balanced. Wow. That was something, man. That was something. Nader, how are you going to counter that?
I don't know if I can follow up Joaquin's points, but if we're going by Vegas and their standings, their lines, they would list the Sixers as a 17-point favorite over Kentucky if they played on a neutral court. That's not even considering home court advantage for the Sixers. Just any way you look at it, it's not even a matchup. I'm kind of disappointed you picked this topic because it's not really a question.
Wow, look at this right here. So I sense, some nervousness coming from Nader right now.
I'm
trashing the topic and not the skills. Well, all right, now I'm going to give you guys a chance to rebut each other. Nader, you start the rebuttal.
Well, Joaquin, you made a lot of good points. I just don't see how you can say that Kentucky could even try to match up against the Sixers or even play against them. I don't see it.
Well, the way they would do that is by actually, matching up against them. What I don't think you understand is how the 76ers can match up against the Kentucky Wildcats. Do you know who the 76ers starting center is?
No.
Exactly. They don't really have NBA players. I mean, these are practically D-leaguers. So when we see them matching up against each other, I think that it's the 76ers who should be worried and not the Wildcats.
If we're looking at the Sixers
whoa,
roster,
guy, this ramble here is kind of wrapped up a bit.
It is? All right.
You had your final say. Now, wow, that was absolutely amazing. If I had to go by their Christmas sweaters, I would never be able to pick who the winner is because they both had really awesome, ugly Christmas sweaters. But I'm going to have to give this one to, since they both kind of quit, myself here. And so I'm going to have a completely new group of people come on my show next week. And by that I mean my segment. I guess the show's everyone's. Have a very happy holiday season. Now back to y'all at the desk.
I'm walking out too.
Can we get a spotlight right here? And maybe a halo.
The 76ers playing Kentucky might actually be a good game.
Yeah, but I'd much rather see them play against the Ramblers.
Yeah. Here in Chicago, we see a lot of pride for sports, but this week's viral video takes sports fandom to a whole new level.
Here, and this Muskegon team has a really good defense. Are you worried a little bit?
You're always worried, but we have a pretty good offense, too. We're very offensive on the east side of Detroit, so we're ready.
But I'm not sure if the players are really ready for this.
We're ready. We're ready to go out there and hit them every play. Right now, baby, you're going to know we came to Ford Field.
He hasn't slept in probably 7 days.
They're holding hands. That's not very football-like, is it? Holding hands? That's better. That's better. They're calling you guys that you guys don't have a very good offense. That Muskegon team, they're fired up. What do you say to them?
We have a good offense.
If you're not nervous, you're not ready.
These kids are ready.
I think I got my swagger back.
As a student, watching the players that you know, don't you get nervous?
No, not really, because I know my boys got this. They got this.
That's not what the other team says.
We don't care what they say. We're bringing it.
We are better than the Lions. We are the best team to ever play on this field. Yeah!
I'm not sure they're better than the Lions, but final score, Warren De La Salle 44, Muskegon 8.
State championship, boys! Let's go!
At Ford Field, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
I never knew high school students can be so passionate. My high school had sports, but never to that extent.
Yeah, mine neither. They really love their football down there.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this season of the Rambler Sports Locker. Make sure to tune back in after the holidays. Now it's time to head back to the North Pole to help deliver presents, or coal, for Comet.
Hey, I'm not so sure about that. We'll see who's really Santa's favorite after all of our trips on Christmas. For Emma Wheeler, I'm Comet.
And for Adriana Ramos, I'm Cupid. Thanks for stopping by the locker and happy holidays. Don't forget to turn out the lights.